So the Bhakti Yoga process, it actually guides us step by step, slowly, slowly, in a lifestyle that makes it so I can leave behind all the things that should be left behind, and I can actually take into my life, embrace, embody the things that are going to really be good for me, the spirit soul. And it is a gradual process. For some people, it's not so gradual. Why? Because in a past life, they made big progress on this path. They take a birth in this life, and they're way down the road. So when they come in contact with this again, they're already well situated. See, so for them, things go very quickly. But that's not everybody, and it's pretty rare. See, many of us are just getting started. You see, we have to start somewhere, right? So if we're just getting started, it's a slow start oftentimes. And we're not convinced, and we're struggling. And we have to give up this and that. And we think, oh, if I give it up, I won't be happy. But we should ask, am I happy now because of it? Really? What am I giving up? And the more we hear and the more we associate with people who are totally convinced of this truth, because they themselves know it's true, see, then we can be guided properly. And the secret is devotional service, devotional activity, acting in such a way that's pleasing to the Supreme Lord, because it's His instruction. He tells us it's pleasing. And this begins to establish a relationship. It's all about relationships, right? You don't have a relationship with somebody until you start doing something with that person. You have an exchange with yourself and that person. That's what a relationship is. Between two people, there's an exchange, right? That's why the secretary and the boss oftentimes start off very estranged. They don't even know each other. She's really dependent on the job. She doesn't care about the boss at all, except he's the source of her income. He writes the paycheck. You see, nothing more than that. But they associate. She does things for the boss. It's her job, right? But it's automatic association. He appreciates her work, automatic association. They come together more and more on a common platform. It starts off as business, but things change very dramatically. And they start being attracted to each other. Well, she's a nice person. Yeah, he's a nice guy. And they relate more and more on a different level. You see, a personal level. They go on a few business trips together and the whole thing's cemented. They fall in love. It happens all the time. Wasn't supposed to. But it was just a normal sequence of events. See? So therefore, when we associate with the Supreme Lord, guided by Himself in the form of the Vedic teachings and the spiritual master, we actually begin to cultivate a real relationship. It's not some fantasy. It's not something we imagine in our mind. Oh, I love God. I hear this all the time. I already love God. I love God so much. Oh, God, I love you so much. And you look at the life they're leading, it has nothing to do with God. Because if you know the teachings of the truth, you know a person who loves God doesn't do what this particular person is doing with their life. He said, don't do this with your life. This is love from mammon. This will not bring you closer to me. This takes you away. So here's a person, I love God and live in the absolute opposite life. This is just fantasy. They're sentimentally attached to some idea or image or hope or whatever it is. You see, it has nothing to do with reality. This is not what we're talking about. Just proclaiming our love for God. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. It's a condition of the heart. Love is a condition of the heart. If the heart is in a pure form, it automatically will love God because that's the pure nature of the soul. So it's a real simple thing. We purify ourselves. We become free of all this contamination and illusion. Attachments to the world in this way and this way and this way. Trying to find our happiness and pleasure from the wrong sources, etc. And actually project our love and propensity on the Supreme Lord. Direct our love properly instead of misdirect our love. And automatically the purification takes place and the love appears, just like a flower blooms in the springtime. It's just automatic. See, the flower doesn't have to work at it. You know, it's springtime, it's in the ground, it's nourished by the Mother Earth. The temperature is right, it grows up, it comes up, and then boom, a beautiful flower appears. What did the flower do? It just followed its nature. So if we're guided in following our nature, not our lust-contaminated nature, which is what people often think is following their nature, but our true nature, and that takes guidance and help and assistance, we'll be like that flower. Love will blossom in our heart, you see. And it's not the kind of, love that we may think it is. It's the deep, satisfying, fulfilling love, not the flickering surface, sensational, sensual pleasure. I love you tonight. Love. See? I love you tonight. Tomorrow it's all gone. Sorry. That's garbage, you see. So, this is a big subject. This is a big endeavor, but so is life. Life is a big subject. It's the biggest subject. For us personally, it's the only subject. Right? What other subject is there? So this is where we should focus our attention. But not haphazardly. It must be properly guided, directed. See? So that means we have to realize I can't do it alone. I'm not the guy. I need help. The baby knows he needs help. He knows I can't do this alone, this living trip. I can't do it alone. I can't walk. I can't do anything. What can I do? I need help. I need protection. And that's why he's so dependent on the mother. Right? And the mother appreciates that dependency. One of the big traumas for a mother is when the kids grow up and leave home and they're no longer dependent on mom. She actually gets big pleasure from taking care of the kids. She likes it when she has to feed them and take care of them and protect them, you see. And when they're all grown up and gone, it's like, wow, my life is empty, And the husband, forget that guy. He's old, just fuddy-duddy. So they get a dog or whatever, somebody I can take care of. So this is real life. See, what we're talking about here is not appealing to many people's ears, you see. That's why it's not so popular. It's never going to make it on number one's position on YouTube. But it can make it inroads into somebody's heart and change their life forever, eternally. And that's our hope, that it will be you.